So you guys have been asking me what gear I've been using and why. So in this video I'm going to give you a full rig rundown as to what I've been using in the studio and what I've been using in live settings. There's a full list of all the gear that I've used in the past and what I'm currently using on my website. Link for that's in the description. My current main setup does tend to fluctuate a little bit. It depends on what type of genre I'm playing, with what band, what venue I'm in, and also depending on if I'm in a recording setting in a studio. So firstly, the drums that I'm using are North Custom drums. They're 12-ply walnut shells, so we've got 10x8, 12x9, and behind me a 16x14 with a 22x16 kick. And they have black with gold hardware, and then for the finish, it's a dark wood satin fade. For my octobands, these are actually homemade, so it's clear acrylic, and I've cut them, drilled them, and assembled them myself. So for my main snare, I have a 14x5.5 North Custom snare. It's 19 plies, so 18 of them on the inner are African mahogany, and on the outer we've got the ebony macassar. All this is finished with die-cast hoops and brass hardware. For my side snare, I have a 13x7 VK brass snare. I've done a review of this on one of my other videos, so I'll leave the link for that in the description. I'll also link it up on the YouTube card. Now, if any of you guys have seen my videos before, you'll know by now that I had the massive pleasure of being part of the Amedia family. These are truly amazing cymbals, some of the best I've ever heard. Now, my setup does seem to change quite a lot depending on what I'm doing. So if it's in a live setting, I'll use a smaller amount. If it's in a studio, if I'm recording live drums, then I use quite a lot more. So let's go through them. Starting from my far left, we have a 22-inch Vigor Rock Shiny Series ride. Then we move around to an 18-inch classic China with the inverted bell. A 19-inch Aura Razor Crash. For my hi-hats, I usually use 15-inch Euphrates, but for most things that I've been using recently, it's been 13-inch Galatas. Then attached to the same stand, I have a 10-inch Galata Splash. I've also recently been using a lot more of the 10-inch Stack. This has a 6-inch bell on top of it as well. Then we move on to my main crash, which is a 19-inch Vigor Rock Shiny Series. I'm also using some 12-inch Vigor Shiny Rock Series hi-hats, a 21 Vigor Rock Shiny Series ride. I also have a 19-inch Comagene crash, which I had ozoned by Ben from Cymbal Magic down south. And then we also have a 16-inch Thrace crash with a 15-inch Euphrates China on top to create my larger stack, and then a 20-inch Vigor Rock Shiny Series China, also with the inverted bell. So as you can see, that's quite an array of cymbals. Now for live settings, I do scale it down a little bit. I might not have the extra hi-hats or the extra crashes, or the extra ride for instance. So when it comes to drum heads, the obvious choice for me is Evans. I've been using these guys since I first started drumming, and every single time I've used them, they've just been so consistent, great tone, and extreme durability. So when it comes to the kick drum, I've always used an EMAD. I find that the extra ring around the edge really controls the tone. For the toms, I tend to fluctuate between EC2s and G2s. At the moment I am using EC2s. Got 10, 12 and 16. These are really, really nice consistent heads. I find they've got a lot of attack, but they don't really blow your head off. For the resonant heads, I've always used G1s. When it comes to snares, the batter head I always have as a Genera dry, but for the side snare, I decided to recently go with the HD dry. I find that gives a really nice higher end tone. For the resonant heads, I really like the sound of the Hazy 300s. When it comes to sticks, I've been using Pro Max now for years. Every single time I pick up a pair of these, I know that I can trust that they are consistent and they're going to give me a great feel. I've been using the active grips now for a few months, and I've been so impressed with the technology that's gone into these. The more you play, the harder they grip. Great. For my pedals, I've been using the Mapex Falcons now for years. I find that the comfortable balance and the durability and the shape of the actual boards themselves have been phenomenal. However, recently I swapped out the beaters for the lowboy beaters. They're the ones with the leather daddies. I did a video quite recently with a review, so I'll put that link in the description for you as well. So when it comes to my hardware, I don't just use one particular brand. I've got brands from all different types of places. So when it comes to the rack system, I'm using the Pearl Icon rack. And this has been so robust and durable and so easy to maintain over the past few years. It's been absolutely brilliant. For my stands, again, a bit of a mismatch of different brands. But for my hi-hat stand, I've been using the Mapex Falcon for a long time now, and it's just been so consistent and so trustworthy. So lastly, the newest additions to my kit is this, the Sweet Spot clutch. Now this is the Castle in blue, but I've also got the Sweet Spot wing nuts. Not only are they incredibly well made, but they really look the part. So I've been absolutely over the moon to add these to my setup. Thank you so much for watching this video. If there's any other questions you have about this kit, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.